This is a transmission from the people of the hills, the so-called she. Hello, my dears. It is very nice to meet you here in this way. I'm sure that in few years' time we will be able to meet physically because you will have discovered all the pathways that from your dimension, your world, arrive to ours. My name is Marina, and I am one of those you call she or the people of the hills, and in many other ways. I've come here to speak about the way we live, about the way we see the universe, your world, life. Because, of course, we are much more in tune with the possibilities of the universe, of life. We are much more an integral part of how things work than you are at the moment. From our perspective, it's like painting. Living is like painting. Creating, experiencing different situations, scenes of your life is like using colors, vibrant colors. If you've ever drawn or painted, you know how it is to put color on the page. Then you will know that the same sensation, the same wonderful, the same orgasmic sensation is there whenever we create our life, whenever something happens, whenever we call for something to happen. And that is what we do. We align to the energy field, which is our essence, and which goes uh, branching out in the universe, in the infinite possibilities. And we explore them, we watch them, we live them, we follow our energy, our path. Now, this is something you do too. The only difference is you are not aware of it. You're not aware because you're playing a game that needs that kind of an awareness. Because how else could you think, could you believe you're not in control? If you think that everything you create, everything that happens to you is something you create. How does it feel? Because sometimes you create something you apparently don't want. This is the key for you. This is one of the turning points. Because as far as you keep saying, I don't want this which I am living, you cannot say, I enjoy creating my life. I create everything of my life. Because if you think that knowing all you wouldn't have created it, then how could it be that you created it? But the truth is this: you created it. You created it because you recognized whatever it is, whatever it can be, whatever happens as something that was worth the price, worth, interesting, useful, something to love, something to enjoy. How is it possible? Well, remember, we are stories. We are journeys. And stories are not interesting if they are not made interesting, if something doesn't happen. And we could like life to be static and nothing bad ever happened to us. But instead, to make it more interesting, we use something we perceive as bad. Well, something you now perceive as bad, that shakes things up and allows you a newer perspective on the whole. So the key is this: recognize that you are creating everything in your life. And even if you do not like some of it, that you're not liking it, you're not enjoying it, doesn't mean it's there without reason. So if you created something you don't like, remember you created it for a good reason. For a good reason. Please remember, the law of this world is simple. You can do whatever you wish. But please do not hold yourself accountable for what you wish, because you're the part of yourself that creates your life is actually much more aware of how things are going and what is best for everybody than your consciousness is. So please trust. This trust is paramount. This is something that will change your life when you apply it. The utter confidence, the utter certainty that whatever happens is for the best is a gift to you. And that the bad things happen for a good reason. because they are not so bad after all. This is how we see the world, and we recognize it. We recognize that sometimes we can lose, and it's interesting to lose too. And then, at that moment, for us, everything becomes easier, and we find the things we do not want to lose, and then everything becomes clear, like a ringing bell that goes all over your body and makes you align, makes you understand, like the lightning of a light. Because, of course, you're here for a reason. You're here to live life, to enjoy life. You're not here for a bad experience. You're here to have a good experience. You will remember it when you cast off these glasses. But for now, just trust. And then you will see, you will understand, it will be revealed to you which is the reason, which is the thing you will not fail at. Because failing, losing is interesting, but succeeding is interesting too. So sometimes we can do one, sometimes the other. Only who decides when we fail and when we succeed? We do. So we will succeed at what is most important for us. It's just that easy. Do you understand? You have the key of everything in your hand. Please use it. Please turn your life around. This is the ultimate truth. We create our life as we prefer. If you are new at this game, you can begin by thanking what you didn't expect, you didn't want in your life. Thanking it for everything it brings, for how it makes you grow, for everything it gives you. And you will see things lightening up. Now, every one of us, every one of everyone, is a thread of the tapestry. If you want, you can consider it a physical representation, or rather, a, a literal truth of the universe, of time and space. We are part, a small part, and nothing can stop us from being who we are, doing who we are, living who we are. And even if you think you're not living who you are, you're not doing who you are, remember that you still are you. You cannot be someone else. It's nonsensical. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't have any meaning. You cannot be someone else. So remember this. When you have something that brings you doubt, when you have something that puts you in a position of not understanding who you are, what do you want, remember that whatever you choose is the right choice. Whatever you end up doing was the right choice all along because you cannot be someone else. All these questions, all these problems, these conundrums really add up to nothing, to a game of mirrors. How do I align myself? You're playing your part, whether you know it or not. There is in your society, this habit of trying to understand where truth is because you perceive some things as false. It doesn't matter in truth because truth is made up of false things, many small things that create a greater truth. And all these apparently contradicting things actually are all part of the truth. Even people who lose themselves in theories of persecution or conspiracy theories, which could be said very far from the truth, are actually not. Because that which they are living exists too, is another valid, powerful way of seeing things. They are living it for a good reason. And the good reason is that there is truth in falsehood. We can live a lie because it is part of the truth. Every one of you, every one of us can live their lie, can live their particular, unique way of seeing things. Because when we decide what we want to do, it is not our programming who decides. It is not our ideas. It is not our unconscious ideas taken from somebody else. Those are the filters, the tools that our soul uses to actually do something here, to actually work. Do you understand? If there is in your soul the desire to shift, to transform an energy, for example, part of your society's energy, well, then there are many tools your soul can use to do it. For example, living the energy of society, the idea of societies, or rather the ideas of society, exactly like society says, exactly as if they were golden truth, is a way to change them, is a way to transform them, is part of the transformation. Because you see, to actually transform an energy, you need to live it. You need to actually touch it. You need to have it in you. So when you actually live that energy, you can begin transforming it. You can bring it here into the world where it gets into contact with all other energies. And then, when it is alive, it cannot help but move. It cannot help but grow and transform. It cannot help it. Do you understand? Whatever you do, however you decide to tackle any problem, you are actually helping it transform, helping the idea, the problem shift into a solution. Whether you, as a soul, decide that you are going to tackle, I don't know, slavery as a slave who suffers for it, or as a slaver who makes others suffer for it, or as a revolutionist, as an innovator who frees slaves, or as a lawmaker who outlaws slaves, or as a person who thinks slaves are not the right way to treat other people. All these ways are part of the same recipe to shift the energy of slavery, to transform it into something which is already true, which means that in the future, whenever you prefer, because also in the past, since the universe doesn't work on linear time. So as you work with this energy of slavery, everybody connected to it will be more and more able to get only the benefit, only what they think is best for them, what they prefer of it, and leave out the rest. Slaves will be freer and freer. Now I'm talking about slavery because it is something that you as a culture have already gone past. So it is quite easy for you to see how the process works. You saw slaves, you saw people who used slaves, then you saw people who thought that maybe you shouldn't use slaves. And now you are at the point where there are still some slaves because everybody knows it's not good, but some people cannot help it. These people will be helped, are helping. Do you understand? Now, to align to your energy is to simply recognize what you prefer, what you like, what you love. When you recognize it, when you find it, well, then you will shine. All of your life will begin shining because you already emitted, you already exploded, you are already radiating that which you are. And as you recognize it and live it more and more, what will change is not whether you actually are that, radiate that, but just whether in your life you will see it. Now, how do you transform yourselves from someone who wanted to do magic, incredible things you cannot even believe you can do, and then become someone who actually does them? How is that possible? How does it work? Remember that you are you. If you want something, if you desire something, then it lives within you. It is part of you in its already completed form, which means that you don't need to chase after things. You don't need to go out of your way to suffer because you don't have something. Because if you want something, when you are in peace and happy about what you are, what is happening, because you know it is an actual representation of your energy, of your being. And while it is not a full representation, it is the one that you prefer it to be at the moment, that needs to be at the moment, according to your soul, which knows the beginning and the end of your journey, which has decided the starting point, the evolution, and everything that you will get at the end. Then, what happens is that when you trust the process, things will begin to arrive. You will begin to find things that are representative of what you prefer, of what you want to learn. Then, doing that, playing with that, because it is a game, just play with it, enjoying that, you will arrive at something you wouldn't have never thought. Of course, if instead the opposite happens and you find yourself looking for something, then by all means, bask in your desire, bask in your want, in your will to have it. And remember that while you will it, while you desire it and you want it, you are creating it. So follow it in any way you see possible. It is never about doing the impossible. It is always about always. It can be very often about doing whatever is possible that is similar, that is in the same direction, that is the first step you see towards what you want. The other steps will be created with that energy, with the energy you put into the first step. Remember, please, the world is ancient. These laws are ancient and all powerful. You can think that you do not follow them. you cannot use it. But when you recognize them, when you start living them, you will see that things automatically align, that there is nothing that is out of your reach if you but want. These are the laws of the world. These are the reason why we make miracles. Now remember, please, you have within you the locks, the doors to all consciousness, to every being in the universe, to everyone you hold dear, to all the energy and the information you would like to have. What this means is that you can fashion the key. And when you fashion it, either by finding it by chance, because you knew you were going to find it, or looking for it and creating it out of effort and will, either way, you can unlock everything and everyone. You can begin to converse, to spend time with everybody in the universe. We are eager to know you, to visit you. We know you're getting nearer. We're waiting for you. If you want, we'll be more than happy to show you all the magic which resides in the world. We, the people of the hills, are many and different, but we are all magic given form. We are all embodiment. We are all living reminders of the truth. Feel free to contact us. Feel free to open the doors to us. Feel free to ask us for help, for anything, for time and attention. We are welcoming you back into your original way of being. Now, there is one of us, a pooka, who would love to speak. Pukas are also a people of the hills. Please listen to him and let's see what he wants to say. Hello, humans. Nice to see you. Nice to actually be here with a body. I'm very happy. I am crunk for the moment. And I'm so pleased to be able to play with you. Now, you might think that you want to do magic. You might think that you want to do something impossible. I'm here to teach you how to do it. Because you see, whenever you go within you, and I can very easily, because I see things as energy. You can too, of course, of course. You just have to look. You can use your imagination to guide you. You will see things. Then when you look at a human, there is specifically one lock, one little chest, which contains all these spells they can make. If you want, I would be incredibly pleased to come within you, to whisper to you the incantation, to open it, to whisper into your ear the words that open it, like a lullaby when you sleep. Please, if you want, call me. I can't wait to play with you, to turn you into small puppets that dance by their strings. Their soul moves. So please, let me, let me come whenever you sleep, whenever you're unaware, whenever you prefer, whenever you call me and you don't expect it. I will be there. I will surprise you. And in a surprise, spinning your world right around, I will open all the doors that lead to your abilities, your possibilities. If you're interested, and if you're interested, contact. I know you won't. I know that often people who hear others channeling never actually contact the channeled being. It doesn't matter. Now, it doesn't matter because all those who really want it will contact. And remember, please, that it doesn't have to be me because I'll be there even if and when you call someone else. And please remember how it is. Now, I will send you a small energetic key. I'll touch the chest within you that contains everything you want to be able to do. And then, now, with a snap of my finger, I will open it a little bit and get you a glimpse of your true possibilities. Again, again, done. So please let me play with you. Let me shape you. and transform you into who you would like to be. Of course, I will do it in ways that you do not expect, because that's how tricksters work. Thank you. Goodbye. Now, thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope we will see each other again. And I give you my blessing. You will be supported. You will be sustained. You will be given everything you need in every moment. Remember this, because it is the law of the world you live in. Remember this, and the whole game will change. I know it sounds like a small thing, but when you actually do it, everything will change. You will begin to be propelled towards what you want at a speed that you might find almost frightening. The people of the hill, thank you. It is a rare honor to be able to speak to you like this. And we can't wait to create more of these connections. We can't wait to welcome you in our realm, to welcome you home. Thank you and goodbye.